This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that.
Hi, I'm Seth Peterson.
Hi, I'm Tippi Hedren.
I'm Rhonda Schwartz.
I'm Josh Roberts.
This is Jessalyn Gilson.
Hello, I'm Victor Webb.
Hi, this is Charlotte Ross.
Hi, this is Ed Begley Jr.
What's up, you guys? This is AJ from the Backstreet Boys.
Hi, this is Shannon Elizabeth, and you're listening to Talkin' Pets.
Talkin' Pets.
Talkin' Pets.
And you're listening to Talkin' Pets.
Talking Pets.
Talking Pets.
With Jon Patch.
Jon Patch.
You're listening to Talkin' Pets with Jon Patch.
Hello, America, and welcome to Talkin' Pets with your host, Jon Patch. Join Jon and his expert guests with all of your pet questions, concerns, comments, and stories. Now it's time for Talkin' Pets with your host, Jon Patch.
And welcome to Talkin' Pets, heard coast to coast on your favorite radio station. This is Talkin' Pets, and I'm Jon Patch. Joining us is
Adriana from St. Francis Pet Care Center in Tarpon Springs, Florida.
here to answer your medical questions, your behavior questions about your pets at 844-305-7800. When you call into that number, you'll speak with Sonar at MFN, and he will put you on the air with us. That's 844-305-7800. The show is produced here live.
Hey, how you doing? This is Matt Matera.
I always like that. Hey, how you doing? It's Matt Matera. You can tell you're from the Northeast.
That's right.
Once again, you are listening to Talkin' Pets. You can watch us on Facebook Live right now at Talkin' Pets Radio. So check us out and give us a call with all your pet questions. This is Talkin' Pets.
You study him hard and hoping to pass, working your fingers right down to the bone, and the guy behind you won't leave you alone. Ring, ring goes the bell, the cook in the lunchroom's ready to sell. You're lucky if you can find a seat, you're fortunate if you have time to eat. Back in the classroom, open your book, see what the teacher don't know how mean she looks. Soon as 3 o'clock rolls around, you finally lay your burden down. Close up your books, get out of your seat, down the halls and into the street, up to the corner and round the bend, right to the juke joint you go in. Drop the coin right into the slot.
And once again, you're listening to Talkin' Pets. We want to talk with you. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 844-305-7800. I'm Jon Patch.
Dr. Adriana.
And I'm Matt Matera.
So joining us in a couple of minutes for a short interview with her, we're going to be speaking with Samantha Crowe, the manager of science education for people for the pet for the ethical treatment of animals. That's PETA. And you know, it's 2022, and you always wonder why kids are actually dissecting frogs and live animals. I mean, when I was in school, we dissected, I hate to even say it, but they brought in cats. And they were pregnant cats.
Oh, my God.
And that was back, I don't even want to say, but that was back in 1979? And so, and the weird part was, after we got done with them, that school smelled like formaldehyde for almost 2 months. It was horrible. Because I guess that's, you know, that's how they ship them and everything. And I just, you know, back then, I guess it was something, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say common, but it was something that they did. Like dissecting was really big back then on animals, dead animals.
Yes.
But now there's other methods.
Models.
That kids can do, and it's you know, just as good or better. But before we go to the interview with Samantha Crowe, we have I think it's Aaliyah in Tampa that has a question for you.
Hi, Aaliyah.
Hi, Aaliyah. How you doing?
How are you? I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Great. So good to
I have a quick. I'm babysitting my friend's dog Annie, and over the past several weeks, I don't know if it's allergies, but she sneezes quite a bit. In fact, when I first heard her sneeze, I thought it was a human. And but sometimes she aspirates small blood droplets out of her nose. Is this not normal? What could it possibly do?
Yeah, it is not normal. I mean, it's definitely some inflammation that's going on, and it's called rhinitis. And the blood can come from vessels that get, dilated and caused because of the irritation. So the one thing is try to stop the sneezing. Another thing is try to figure out why the sneezing is happening. So I think that, have you consulted with your veterinarian already?
I don't think he has yet, but he plans on doing that soon. Do dogs get regular allergies like humans do?
Yes, they can, and certainly, of course, consulting with with his veterinarian. But I think that, if it's okay with the veterinarian giving them even over-the-counter Benadryl or any type of antihistamine like that, Benadryl, Zyrtec, those type of antihistamines, they can be safe to pets. Keeping in mind that sometimes they can cause, just like in people, like excitement instead of getting them to be calm.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be.
That's
something.
great advice. Well, thank you guys so much, and I'll let him know.
Yes, absolutely.
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Aaliyah. You too. That's Aaliyah out there in Tampa, Florida, listening Beasley
Thank you for
Broadcasting.
the question. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's like that happens with me though too. When I sneeze too much, and say I don't even have to have a cold, but if my nose gets real dry, and then all of a sudden you start sneezing, and then blood kind of comes out, but it's because my nose was so dry.
Yes.
So humans go through a lot of that too, I guess.
Right. It can be just a simple allergy, but sometimes it'll be an underlying issue. So that way is also, especially if there's blood, it's always good to consult with the veterinarian.
More so like that in older pets or in younger, or it doesn't matter? It's all ages.
No, it doesn't matter. But I think to see sometimes in dogs that have a one side where they start having more hemorrhage, and then unfortunately I have noticed that that's related to cancer over time. You can see that as it starts deforming, that area starts getting bigger, and of course the bleeding starts getting worse. We do that's why we always do x-rays and scoping, those type of diagnostics we run so that we can determine underlying issues.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, in that realm of what you were talking about, that happened with my sister. She passed away 5 months ago, and she, in her one eye, and she wasn't bleeding from the eye. It was like a mucus was coming out of her eye. Had no idea what it was, and then she ended up getting it checked, and then they found out that she had a tumor in her brain, and then from there they did more checking, and then they diagnosed her with lung cancer.
Oh my God.
So my sister lived for about a year after that diagnosis. So it's even something as minor or something weird like that, it is good to get it checked out with your pets, because just like in humans, they have a lot of the same things we go through.
Yes.
So I do highly recommend getting it checked, because I sometimes think if she knew before that time, maybe it would have been, because I hear my sister was stage 4, but I hear people that were stage 4 and they survive cancer, and they go into remission, and but it wasn't that case for her, so maybe it was just too far along before she noticed. So the same thing with pets. I mean, if you see something that's beyond normal or beyond the character of your pet, dog, cat, whatever it may be, it is good to get it checked, right?
Absolutely. Don't just assume. Always check with your veterinarian.
So when you do something like that, you do check up on them, one of the first things you do is blood work, right? You do a full panel?
Yes, we try to. We have panels that are our favorites depending on the age of a certain animal. But for example, for an older dog, we do call it a senior panel. And we check a whole, it's all the complete blood count, telling you if you have an infection, if you're anemic. Excuse me. And then the whole body chemistry, and we also check the thyroid in the urine.
Well, once again, you're listening to Talkin' Pets. Pick up the phone and give us a call if you've got a question about your pets, dog, cat, whatever you have. 844-305-7800. That's 844-305-7800. Don't forget, you can watch us on Facebook Live at Talkin' Pets Radio, but we want to talk to you guys, so pick up the phone and give us a call. Again, 844-305-7800. Coming up, Samantha Crowe, Manager of Science Education for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, otherwise known as PETA. and we're going to be talking about dissection in schools. So stay tuned for that. But once again, you are listening to Talkin' Pets.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And welcome back to Talkin' Pets. It's 2022. Why are children still cutting up frogs in class? Learn how PETA is helping schools by providing high-tech interactive dissection tools. Samantha Crowe is the manager of science education for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, otherwise known as PETA. She works directly with educators to replace animal dissection with interactive software and has helped PETA's Teach Kind program, which provides teachers with humane education materials, to implement dissection choice policies through software donations to schools around the world. She also spearheads Teach Kind's dissection pilot program, has co-authored research papers in the American Biology Teacher Journal, and is a regular fixture at science education conferences around the U.S. Welcome onto the program, Samantha Crowe.
Thank you for having me.
What's wrong with animal dissection?
Animal dissection is outdated, cruel, and ineffective. It deters students from pursuing careers in science, it exposes students to carcinogens, and it is an inferior way to teach. PETA is opposed to dissecting animals because it's deadly for millions of animals every year, and we know that animals are not ours to use for any reason.
Where do animals used for dissection actually come from?
Every year, more than 10 million animals are used for classroom dissection in the United States. These animals are often crudely killed, they're soaked in formaldehyde, and then shipped to schools to be dissected. These animals come from slaughterhouses, they come from their homes in the wild, and also they are bred by the millions in warehouses.
How many animals are dissected each year?
So every year, more than 10 million animals are used for classroom dissection in the U.S.
So how is PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, working to end animal dissection?
PETA has an array of campaigns to help end animal dissection. We work with educators and students to modernize teaching practices without using any animals. Our dissection pilot program is underway, and we work with administration on humane education policies. We also help students navigate opting out of animal dissection, and we donate digital dissection software to schools.
What other options are there, and do they work as well?
Oh, absolutely. So we actually just published a systematic review paper in the American Biology Teacher Journal, and I was a co-author, and the review showed that in 95% of studies, students at all educational levels scored as well as or better in most cases when they use non-animal methods compared to animal dissection. Of course, medical schools no longer use animals for dissection, so clearly middle and high school students don't need to dissect animals either.
Samantha, where can our listeners go for more information?
Yeah, listeners can go to PETA.org/dissection, which is our dissection headlines page. And there you will find action steps for students and for parents and for teachers. Listeners can also go to teachkind.org. Teach Kind is PETA's Humane Education Division, and we are former educators who are here to empower students and parents to help make animal dissection a thing of the past. On teachkind.org, we have myriad free worksheets, printables, lesson plans, empathy-building curricula, and more.
Samantha Crowe, Manager of Science Education for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, thank you for joining us here on Talkin' Pets.
Thank you for having me.
And you are listening to Talkin' Pets. We want to talk with you, so pick up the phone and give us a call, 844-305-7800, 844-305-7800. So what do you think about that, Dr. O?
I think it's great that we are not using pets in the classrooms like that anymore, or animals in general, I'm not saying pets, but animals for vivisection. Because as I remember, and you remember as a kid, it was kind of, personally, I've always have been, very interested in loving of animals in general, and as a kid, it can be very traumatic having to open an animal, and especially if you got to see that animal alive before it was euthanized or put down so that you can dissect on him, and that was awful.
I remember actually when I was telling you earlier about the cats, which was very odd, I thought, but
Yeah.
And especially being pregnant cats. But I was at a private school, and the nun, the sister nun, was so happy that we were actually having cats to dissect, and some of the kids didn't want to do it.
No, of course not.
And I can't remember what happened after that, but I do remember that some were doing the procedure while some were watching.
Yes.
But it was just very bizarre back then. But being a kid, you didn't really think a lot about it at that time. But things have changed since then, especially getting older. You know how much your cats and all animals mean to you. You just saw my cat Shadow, which, I see that love out of her eyes when she looks at me. Granted, there's also that look of like, give me a treat, give me a meaty morsel, which she's addicted to. But I just can't see using those animals, especially when technology has come so far.
Absolutely. A lot of these models are made with such detail and intricacy that end up being a lot more interesting to any kid, because they get to interact, they get to see more without that probably guilt or like feeling, the negative feeling around doing dissecting an animal.
Well, we're going to go to Robert in just a second, but he's got a question for you, Doctor. So, Doctor, I'm going to go with Dr. A.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer Dr. O. I could go Dr. S, but I think I'm just going to go with Dr. A.
There you go.
So we'll find out what he wants in just a second. But what's new in your life? Anything going on? Anything?
Wonderful. Well, I'm very happy where I am working currently at the St. Francis Pet Care Center. Last Saturday, we actually held a Blessing of the Pets. About every October 4th is like every year around the world is celebrated in the Blessing of the Pets, which was started by St. Francis of Assisi.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So it was wonderful. The weather, of course, was absolutely wonderful. And it was a good way to celebrate and to kind of put a spike of happiness after the hurricane that was so devastating in Florida.
Yeah, it's just to see the after pictures. I mean, I sat here waiting. That was going to be me here in Tampa. I knew I was going to lose everything.
Yeah.
But then when it turned at the last minute, it's like you feel happy for yourself,
right,
but then devastated for the people that are going to get it. And then the next day, it was just horrifying, actually, to see what happened down there. And I, and I still said it last week, and I'll say it again. If you can donate to Red Cross, Red Cross I think is a great organization, redcross.org. I know they are taking donations to help the people out down there, but some people don't even have homes.
Yes.
There's just nothing left. But we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to come back with Robert, and Robert's in Florida. But don't go away, Robert. We'll come back with you. But again, you're listening to Talkin' Pets, and we want to talk with you. Phone lines are open at 844-305-7800, 844-305-7800. I am going to play Name That Animal sound as well in this hour. So if you can name the animal, you're going to win a prize. And I have new things now. I have the new little water bowls that, how would you describe those? Foldable, you could travel with them anywhere for your pets, and they open up, and then you could put the water into them. And they have my logo on them and everything. I have them made. So that's another choice that you could have. But hold on, we'll be right back with more of Talking Pets. 844-305-7800. That's the number to call. And this is Talking Pets.
For those fortunate to have experienced the deep bond and unconditional love of a companion animal, the death that follows can be one of the most difficult and misunderstood losses to go through. Many times, this devastating loss goes unrecognized and trivialized by family and friends, leaving grieving pet parents struggling to find healthy ways to cope with the loss. In And I Love You Still, a thoughtful guide and remembrance journal for healing the loss of a pet, Dr. Julianne Corbin calls attention to the difficulties unique to the loss of a beloved pet and provides an interactive and compassionate guide to help you process your loss and work towards coming to a place of peace and healing. For those interested in journal therapy and looking for a professionally written and compassionate resource to help understand and reconcile the grief associated with the loss of your pet, this book is for you. And I Love You Still, a thoughtful guide and remembrance journal by Julianne Corbin, is now available for purchase on Amazon and other major book retailers.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Kitten may have used at least one of her 9 lives trying to ride out Hurricane Ian on the streets alone. According to the Tampa Police Department, 2 officers spotted the tiny animal alone and scared in the middle of Florida Avenue and Fletcher Avenue as Hurricane Ian bore down on the city. The officers welcomed the kitty into their patrol car and took her into the veterinary emergency group. Within an hour, the kitten found a family willing to give her a good home. They wanted to name the animal Ian, but after learning she was a girl, they decided to call her Stormy. Reporting for Talking Pets, Dr. Adriana.
I got 9 lives, baby, I just keep coming back. Oh yeah, I got 9 lives, I nearly lost them all, but each and every time I really had a ball. I got 9 lives, baby, I just keep coming back. First time that it happened.
And you're listening to Talkin' Pets. Once again, give us a call at 844-305-7800. We're going to go out to Robert in Florida. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine.
Good. Where are you at, Robert, in Florida?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm in Bradenton, Florida, and if that storm would have been 50 miles north of where it hit, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one, Robert, because I'm in Tampa Bay, so we produced the show out of Tampa Bay, and it's heard all over the country, but I sat here on my couch thinking I was going to lose everything, so it was tough, but I'm glad to hear that you're okay.
Yeah, I've got my son living up in your area, and he was sweating it out, and I'm so thankful that it didn't hit your area, because it would have been a total disaster.
Yeah, when you look at the pictures of what happened to, to Fort Myers and Naples, it's just, it's breathtaking all in a bad way. Well,
in a good way, I have a friend down there that basically had his roof taken off and his business destroyed. But FEMA is coming in and doing quite a wonderful job. Initially, they're giving him a $37,000, I don't know if it's a grant or a 1% loan for the business. And then they're giving all kinds of financial aid to those people that are hit the worst. So they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah, I'm actually in flood zone A, where my house is. I'm not on the water, but it's about a half a mile down the street from me. And I pay quite a bit to FEMA every year for flood insurance. But thankfully,
it's
I
probably
have never
costing
flooded.
you in that area. In that area, it's probably cost you a couple $1,000s a year, isn't it?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It's expensive.
Every time I get the bill, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I've never had a flood here, and I hope I never do.
I've got a question on my cat.
Sure.
It's let's see. It's 10 years old. It's a mostly Persian. Absolute beautiful cat. 25 pounds. Gets combed every day. Everything's fine. Totally healthy. Eats the best foods. But the problem is he has developed what's called an oil sac, and it's hanging above his left shoulder, so it's not really bothering him that much. But I just don't like the looks of it, and I'd like to get him back to normal again. I just don't know what the procedure is on an oil sac. Do they just stick a needle in it and drain it, or do they just cut it off and sew him up? Do you have any idea?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So it could be both. Sometimes it could be drained, and you can actually get it better. And some of them will not come back that way. However, if it's surgically removed, is the best way to address it, because you're removing all the cells that are producing that oil to begin with. So you can drain it, but it'll come back. So you remove it, when you remove it surgically, it actually, you're eliminating it for good.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
He's looking for an operation. Do you have any idea, a ballpark figure of what a veterinarian would charge for a procedure like that?
That varies, because it goes by, like you say, the age, how healthy they are. We typically like to make sure that they're okay to go under anesthesia. It will be time based, how long the surgeon thinks it's going to take. I don't think it takes that long, but I haven't seen your cat, so it depends on whether it's wide, or is it like it might be filled up, or is it like just barely attached. I mean, sometimes depending on the shape of it, the veterinarian will
it has a very narrow stretched feed to the globe. Very narrow, but then of course it's blossomed out into about the size of a ping pong ball.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, that's more. Yeah,
so
I would.
Is there any idea? I mean, is it $1,000, $2,000?
I would say around that range. I would say like on the $1,000 range for you. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're in the Tampa area, since you're so close, Robert, maybe a procedure you could do at St. Francis.
Yeah, I definitely would like to take a look at your cat. Would love to.
Now, what is St. Francis?
St. Francis Pet Care Center is where I work.
She's the veterinarian
there at St. Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll write that down. Very interesting show. Really enjoyed listening to you.
Thanks so much, Robert, and good luck, and hopefully you get to see Dr. Adriana, with your cat.
Absolutely.
I know how much you love your cat, because I'm the same way. My cats are my kids.
Yeah, I love my cat. I mean, I inherited him from my father-in-law that passed away, and he was a college professor and living in a real high-end retirement home. And I used to take care of them every time they went out on cruises. And I just really fell in love with them. And my father-in-law was going on cruises all day. He says, well, would you like him? And I said, well, sure. And what a wonderful cat. I mean, absolutely. This is my fourth cat. most of my cats have lived anywhere from 17 to 21 years. So
great.
He's got a good care. He's got a that's quite a while. He's got a good 10 years left, I'm sure.
Good. I like Persians. I think they're really cool looking.
Yes. What's your kitty's name?
Yeah. Pardon me?
What's your cat's name, Robert?
Missy.
Missy. Missy.
Well,
M-I-S-S-Y. I don't know why he named her that, but that was her name, so that's what I call her.
Well, Robert, I'm glad you're okay from Hurricane Ian, and also, a shout out to your cat, and I hope it all goes well. But if you're in the Tampa area, like I said, since you're so close, Dr. A could perform that procedure for you as well. So, check her out, St. Francis Pet Care
Center.
Pet Care Center. So, thanks, Robert.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
That's Robert out there in Florida and down in Bradenton, probably listening on WWPR down there. And if Val's listening, my bunny girl Val, that's what I call her. Hi. I'm glad you're okay. I was emailing her to make sure she was okay because she was in Sarasota. So, it's weird what you said though with that ping pong ball. I had that on my elbow, on my right elbow. And I work all day long at my desk. I hardly ever leave, and I'm constantly putting my elbow on the desk. And all of a sudden, it blew up, and it was gross, and I could feel it was like a ping pong ball, but it was all full of like liquid. And so I ended up going to an orthopedic surgeon, and he said the same thing that you said, and this is on the human level versus with the cat. He says I can drain it, but there's a good probability it's going to come back. Mm-hmm. He drained it. I'll tell you, he took out a big fat vial full of like, I don't even want to say what it looked like. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden, sure enough, about a month later, it came back. And then this time he took it out again, drained it, but then this time he gave me a cortisone shot. Mm-hmm. And I did not get it back yet, and I hope I never do.
That's good.
So, good luck with your kitty, Robert. When we come back, we have another call from Giovanni, so don't go away. You're listening to Talkin' Pets. I'm Jon Patch.
Dr. Adriana.
And I'm Matt Matera.
Pick up the phone. Give us a call. 844-305-7800. 844-305-7800. I'll try to get to that animal sound for the contest, but if we don't, we don't. But actually, by the way, Robert, if you call back and you speak with Sonar, 844-305-7800, I want to send you some treats by Vitacraft, and I want to send you the meaty morsels for your cat. We'll absolutely love it. This is Talkin' Pets.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
And once again, you're listening to Talkin' Pets. I'm Jon Patch.
Dr. Adriana.
My name is Matt Matera.
Pick up the phone, give us a call, 844-305-7800, out to Bradenton, Florida, and Giovanni. Hey, Giovanni, you got a question for Dr. A? Hi, Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Do we have Giovanni? Giovanni! Okay, well, put him on hold and see if...
Nope, no.
No, I put that on hold. And so we'll see what happened to Giovanni. But 844-305-7800, that's the number to call. And our Facebook went down, too.
No.
Like, weird.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, so...
I don't see Giovanni anymore.
No, he wasn't there. No. He might have ran to the bathroom. Because normally if they hang up, you get a deet, 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 deet. We didn't get that, so I think I don't know where he went. But maybe he'll call back. Call back, Giovanni. 844-305-7800. That's the number to call. 844-305-7800. We want to talk to you, of course, about your pets. So pick up the phone if you've got a question about the health or you got a question about training. Pick up the phone and give us a buzz. And we want to talk about your pets. I may have to skip on the contest this hour. People calling with questions, which is always good. Questions come first. So, but we'll play some games later. 844-305-7800. So we're going to go back to Giovanni. He's in Bradenton. And, hey, Gio, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How are you guys? Hey, you talk about nosebleeds on dogs. Well, mine had it start in the beginning of 2020, and he had the rhinoceros treatment, which is a scope, and they basically misdiagnosed it as an infection. It wasn't. So I played around with that down in Sarasota, and then my vet recommended another place up in Tampa, and they ran a full-body CAT scan, a CT on him, and they picked it up. It was nasal hemosarcoma. And they zapped him with the radiation, stereotactic radiation therapy. He got 3 of those, and he got some Duroboxin chemo, and it fixed him, and he was cancer-free for 2 years. Up until just recently when it started to grow back, and he's got zapped again with the radiation. And right now, that was the beginning of September. Right now, he's recovering, but there's only one place in town around here that does it in Tampa.
How old is he?
Saved his life.
How old is the dog?
He's right now. He's still be 13. He was 11. Just turned 11 when he got back in September 2020. That's
is
when
he a small breed or a large breed?
That's when he started. Huh?
Is he a small breed or a large breed dog?
The Catahoula. Half Catahoula and half American Bulldog.
Okay.
He was a gangbang rescue. They kept him chained up on a porch. I got him when he was 5.
Well, thank you for rescuing.
No, he's a good dog. He got even with him, though. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, he's a good dog. He's good with people, and that was his only cure. It was either that or trying to give him that Union Bio anti-bleed stuff, the stuff for when you get hit with something or shot. And that would have just prolonged his agony, so the only way to do it properly was the radiation. And,
yes.
Like I say, there's only one place in town that does it.
Yes, that is probably Fetch that you went to?
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Great people.
Yeah, they done a full body CAT scan. Dr. Rattery picked it up right away.
Yep.
And now the place, the other Dr. Merkel's a good. She just took over and she's doing them right now. But he just got it grew back because they did another CT scan. You can see it was nasty looking attached to the skull, and he had another week back in the beginning of September and this year, and looks like he's recovering now. So it may get him another year, hopefully.
Yes.
But,
13 years old.
2 years.
Yeah, he's geriatric
well, he's still
for that age.
he's in good shape though. I give him take care of him.
Well, apparently you must.
And
I mean,
gets
you rescue
I
him.
give him quality food. So
you give him quality care
That's
too.
good.
So
That's
thanks
good.
for that.
Good that you were able to do it. A lot of people cannot.
But the rhinoceros, they just misdiagnosed it as an infection with the rhinoceros, the scope, and that was. I wish I should have. I wish I knew about that place sooner because that's where to go. Because you got to really do a CT scan to pick up anything.
The CT scan, you start with your X-rays and everything, but the CT scan is the way to go in terms of diagnosing.
Yeah, the X-rays. They did the X-rays. They did the scope, and it was a misdiagnosis, basically.
Well, it's so much has changed in the veterinary world because now there's specialists for everything that So your vet can always refer you to a good specialist. So that's good that you found the place to go to. Well, our hearts go out to you with that. We know how hard that is. I mean, anybody going through any kind of pain with their pets. I mean, and it's hard. They're our kids, and we put a lot of time.
I got 2 other rescues too that were headed to. They were they're younger. They got a younger one, and then they got a middle one, and then they got the old guy, which is the one that had the problem. But they kind of want him to stick around, so they kind of look at me funny when I take him up there for treatment. They kind of give me dirty looks.
Where's he going? Where's he going? Yeah, I got 3 cats and they're rescues. Same thing happens when one has to go to the vet for a reason. The other 2 are kind of like, and it's weird too when I know in the cat world it's a little different, but when the cat comes back from the vet, the other two don't want to go near him for about 2 days. They smell other cats and animals, and all they do is hiss at them. But dogs don't seem to do that. Dogs seem to be okay when the other one comes
they
home.
jump on him. They go crazy when he comes back, especially when I drop him off up there. That's kinda...
Well, good luck with everything on that, Giovanni, and we wish you the best.
Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you for sharing your experience.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Giovanni, stay on the line, too, and speak with Sonar. I'm going to send you a bottle of SCOE 10X. It's a great odor eliminator, just in case with the 3 dogs you need to use it on. You can use it on anything, but it's great for pets, of course, too. So stay on the line, and I'll send you a bottle of that. That's Giovanni out there in Bradenton, Florida. And once again, you're listening to Talkin' Pets. 844-305-7800 is our number. Same pet time, same pet channel on your favorite radio station. But I'm Jon Patch.
Dr. Adriana.
I'm Matt Matera.
Spay and neuter your pets and help control that pet population. And if you are going to adopt a pet, just like Giovanni did, go to your rescue group or your shelter and please adopt one from there. Thanks for joining us here on Talkin' Pets.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.